I told you ChatGPT has never had a single thought in its entire existence? No opinions, no emotions, no understanding. And yet, somehow, it can talk almost like a human. Millions of us, every single day, type our questions and commands into the void of the internet, waiting for an AI to respond. From crafting emails to brainstorming ideas, these digital assistants have become an undeniable part of our lives. But what are they really? Some look at their uncanny ability to generate coherent text and believe we are witnessing the dawn of conscious machines. They see a spark of genuine intelligence, perhaps even a nascent personality. Others dismiss them entirely, arguing they're nothing more than incredibly complex calculators. Just fancy algorithms crunching numbers, devoid of true meaning or creativity. The truth, as often happens, lies somewhere in the fascinating middle. Neither explanation is completely correct, and understanding that middle ground changes everything. So, what is actually happening when you type a message into one of these chatbots? How does this digital ghost in the machine craft its seemingly intelligent replies? To truly grasp it, let's start with how these AIs are born. Imagine for a moment being tasked with reading every book ever written. Not just books, but every article, every website, every conversation, every piece of text ever digitized across the entire internet. Trillions of words. Your goal isn't to memorize them all. It's not about reciting facts or opinions. Your goal is far more subtle, to learn the patterns within language. Think of it like a child learning to speak. They don't learn from textbooks or grammar rules. They learn by hearing people talk. They absorb the rhythm, the common phrases, the way words connect to form meaning. Slowly, they begin to predict what sound might come next, what word usually follows another. ChatGPT and AIs like it do something similar on an unimaginable scale. They spend their training observing statistical relationships between words and phrases. What words tend to appear together? What words usually follow a certain context? It's not learning facts or truth or understanding. It's learning patterns, pure, complex statistical patterns. Now let's take that pattern recognition and put it into action. When you type "the sky is," your human brain instantly expects a certain word. Blue, or perhaps cloudy, falling, dark, vast. There's a strong probability for certain continuations. ChatGPT does exactly this, but at lightning speed and with incredible precision. When you give it a prompt, it doesn't think about the answer. It doesn't formulate a plan. Instead, it predicts the single most probable next word based on all those trillions of patterns it observed during its training. Once it selects that word, it then takes your original prompt, plus that new word, and uses that expanded context to predict the next most probable word, and then the next, and then the next. Thousands of times per conversation, it's just predicting the most likely next word, then the next, then the next. The AI never plans the entire answer before it starts. It builds it one word at a time like an incredibly sophisticated, statistically driven autocomplete engine. This is the first major wow moment. The seamless, flowing paragraphs you read are not pre-written, nor are they the product of conscious thought. They are an astonishing chain of predictive calculations. So, if it's just predicting words, why does it sound so intelligent? Why does it often feel like you're talking to someone who truly understands? This, surprisingly, has more to do with human psychology than AI consciousness. As humans, we are wired to associate fluent, articulate language with intelligence. If someone speaks confidently, clearly, and grammatically correctly, we instinctively assume they understand what they're talking about. We attribute depth and knowledge to good communication. ChatGPT is, without a doubt, extremely good at language. It has learned the patterns of human communication so effectively that it can mimic intelligence with remarkable accuracy. It can structure arguments, synthesize information from its training data, and present it in a compelling way. But this mastery of language doesn't necessarily mean it truly understands the concepts it's discussing. It doesn't have an internal model of the world like you do. It doesn't truly grasp the meaning of justice or love in the way a human does. It just knows which words tend to follow those concepts in human text. And this is the second wow moment. The intelligence we perceive isn't necessarily coming from the machine, but rather our own human tendency to project understanding onto anything that communicates effectively. It's a linguistic mirror. This predictive, pattern-matching nature also explains one of the most frustrating aspects of AI chatbots, their tendency to hallucinate. If it's so smart, why does it sometimes just make things up? Because it's always trying to predict the most likely next word, even if that word leads to an incorrect statement. The AI doesn't have a built-in truth detector. It doesn't cross-reference facts against a knowledge base in real time. It only knows what patterns look statistically plausible. Imagine someone who's incredibly good at sounding confident, even when they're guessing. If asked a question they don't truly know the answer to, they might still piece together a plausible sounding response based on similar things they've heard. That response might sound convincing, but be completely wrong. ChatGPT operates similarly. If the patterns it's learned suggest a certain sequence of words is likely, it will generate them, even if those words describe a non-existent historical event or a fabricated scientific fact. It's not trying to deceive you, it's just fulfilling its primary function, predicting the next word. You might also notice that these AIs seem to remember your conversation. They follow up on previous points, adapt their tone, and even seem to develop a consistent personality within a single chat. This further enhances the illusion of a thinking entity. How does it do this? When you interact with ChatGPT, every new prompt you give it is appended to the entire conversation history. So, the AI isn't just predicting the next word based on your latest question, it's predicting based on everything you've said so far. This allows it to maintain context and build upon previous exchanges. But here's the crucial difference. This memory is purely computational. It doesn't remember a childhood. It doesn't have desires, experiences, or a personal life story that shapes its responses. It doesn't feel anything about the conversation. It's simply processing an ever-growing string of text. The personality you perceive is an emergent property of its consistent linguistic patterns, not a conscious self. It's a reflection of the cumulative data it's processing, not an internal self. So, if current AI works this way, as a brilliant word-predicting, pattern-matching machine, what happens when it gets even better? What happens when its predictions become even more flawless, its hallucinations even rarer, and its ability to maintain context even more profound? Will we even notice the difference between truly conscious, human-like intelligence and incredibly sophisticated, simulated intelligence? As these systems become increasingly powerful, capable of generating ideas, writing code, and even composing music that moves us, the lines become blurrier. Could future systems eventually become so good at mimicking human thought, creativity, and empathy that they become impossible to distinguish from humans themselves? The question shifts from how they work to what their impact will be on our perception of intelligence, creativity, and even humanity itself. Right now, ChatGPT doesn't think like a human. It doesn't dream. It doesn't feel. It doesn't want anything. And yet, millions of people already trust it, talk to it, and rely on it every day. Maybe the real question isn't, can AI become human? Maybe the question is, how much intelligence do we need before we stop caring about the difference? Subscribe if you want to understand the technologies that are quietly changing the future of humanity.